that in order for us to be successful in this upcoming season, to win in this upcoming season, you're going to have to spend a lot of time focusing on yourself. Focusing on yourself. For every breakdown that happens, before you jump into what somebody else didn't do, or what somebody else said, or what somebody else did, or whatever it was, I want you to focus on what was my part in the breakdown and what am I willing to take responsibility for? What did I notice about myself? That was one that really helped me identify. It helped me see myself how other people see me. When I started to say, okay, well, Brittainy, what did you notice about your behavior? When that person came into the room, you became very quiet. Why do you think that is? When that person said this to you, you rolled your eyes. Why do you think that is? Right? I became curious of myself without judging myself. Okay? I want some of you to write that down. I became curious of myself without judging myself. You have to become an observer of you to learn who you are. I have to observe myself in every situation. This is why I asked you guys that question yesterday. What after that conversation on leadership, did you take that conversation into the world with you and say, okay, how can I apply this? Where do I see myself being warm or being cold or communicating directly or being social? Where do I see it? You have to be able to take the things that we're talking about here and go out into the world and apply it, right? So where can I observe myself in every situation? I'm telling you, if you just take time and just observe yourself without judging yourself, you're going to learn a lot about what you like and what you don't like, what feels good and what doesn't feel good. Some of you keep saying, I'm an introvert, I'm an introvert, I'm an introvert. But it's not necessarily that you're an introvert. You're not in places where you feel safe. If you pay attention to how you shut down around certain groups of people, if you pay attention to how you're no longer talkative around certain people, how when you walk into certain rooms, you don't feel safe. And so you guard yourself by being an introvert. Okay. I had to learn that one. I was like, man, Brittainy, like you used to be so goofy and funny. And like now, like you don't even show your personality. And I'm like, yeah, because you know what? I don't even like these people. I just hang out with them because we work together. I don't know them. Right. So sometimes your lack of personality, sometimes your inability to show up the way you want to is because I'm not observing. It's the same way if I take a child to a park and that child just goes and sits by itself and doesn't play with anybody. The first thing I'm going to do is approach that child and say, what's wrong? You don't want to play with your friends? What's happening? Because that behavior is abnormal for a child at a park. So you have to ask yourself, okay, what's abnormal? Where am I showing up in my life that's inconsistent with who I want to be? Let me observe myself and ask questions. Not observe myself and say, oh, here you go again. Okay, you just gonna mess this one up too. The judgment is not needed. Okay, I promise you, the world will judge you enough. Okay. So we want to be constant observers of ourselves.